This urban can fade, guys. I know it's relatively light volume right now, but it's broken down through the 20. It is a volatile name, but this has room to go if it wants to. So let's keep an eye on this out of the open as well. Good setup here. It has, reclaimed that dip it had, but we're up against a $32 pivot here. It's pretty strong. So if we start to get some selling out of the open, this one could be one that we could use for a backup play. So let's keep our eye on that as well in case target just decides to rip through that line. Yeah, Greg, definitely. I mean, it's definitely got support there, but urban is one that can really start to open up. I mean, just because we're below the 20 here is why I'm interested. So we'll have to just keep an eye on it, see what the volume does, what the price action does. I mean, I expect it to probably be pretty thin, but just in case. But I'm telling you, target here is this is looking good. This is the action you want to see against a big line like this. So this is definitely one that as soon as that bell opens, this is one that when I talk about, being confident on a trade, this is one that I see the reactions to the line several times and you can see what had happened to it. So if it starts to show just the slightest sign of weakness out of the open, I can jump in this with some serious size because I know I have a pretty tight backstop against the $70 level that has been respected 3 times on decent volume. So, I mean, this is really setting up to be nice here with this 20. It starts to push through this. It can really just open up. Chances are this will probably be a quick trade because target you can't expect a big move from, but it can move. But I wouldn't expect 2 or 3 points, maybe a point, point and a half. give this a moment here. See if we get a momentary retest. There was a big buy imbalance on this, which normally you don't see that when we're fading. So let's give this a moment. All right, so let's see if we can get back up to the line. All right, I'm short, guys. I'm short here, 69.6. 69 is going to be the first target. We got that little retest. It failed there at VWAP, started to fail. Now we need to get down through 69. Market's trying to curl back up here, so we got to be careful. All right, I got filled there a piece actually at 69. It flashed through. So gap fade setup coming through again. Let's see if we can get below 69 here. 68.50, 68.60 is going to be the next spot I'll look. All right, so 68.50 you can see is where we bounced in the pre-market. Got to take that into consideration here since we don't have much of an indication of support on the daily. So I'm going to try to shave off a few more if we get down towards 68.60s or so.
Order filled.
Hey guys, I'm probably going to add this back here. All right, I added back short. Just need to stay below the view app.
Order filled. So it still looks pretty good here, guys. My re-add up against view app. Back to pretty much full size here on it, or what I had initially. So I'm just going to see if we can maintain below view app, get one more fade below 69, take that off. And looks like we're going to get it right here. All right, I'm trying to get out a piece of the ad. There we go. Now, got to hit lows here. It's important.
So that, not something I really like to see right there. You get the flash below the whole dollar, you come back up. But we'll give it a chance. All right, I'm going to take off the rest of this ad. We can hit lows. Just, like I said earlier, can't expect a lot from this target. So we're still struggling here with the whole dollar, obviously. Market pulling back to VWAP. Was hoping that was going to help push it down just a little bit. And we don't need much. We're only sitting 10, 15 cents away from the low. But the longer we do this, the more of a base we're building, which is not favorable. But give it a few more minutes here. There's lows right there. Okay.
Order filled.
So I got some of the balance of the ad filled there at 83. All right, there it is. I'm all filled now. All right, so now I'm just back to my original. 68.80. Back to the original size here. So TGT's just kind of slowly bleeding here. Um, I've only got a third left of my original, about 1,200 shares. So I'm just going to sit with that. I'd really like to see it kind of flash down towards 68 to get out. So I'm gonna hold that just to see. I mean, I very well may not get that. It's kind of a risk here, but being that I took the ad back and got a nice profit on that, this is just kind of a lotto play here into the end of the morning. So let's just see if we can get this thing down towards 68, and I'll take it. So the imbalance, good question. You know, on Lightspeed, it may have this on other brokers too. Actually, I know they do. It just depends on where it's displayed. But on Lightspeed on your level 2, there's an option if you go in to show the imbalances prior to the market open, and if you click that, what'll happen is on a stock that is gapping up or down, has volume on it, like the stocks we play every day, there sometimes will be a big buy or sell imbalance. And when you see that, that will help you sort of predict or give you a little bit more confirmation of which way the move is going to go. But today was actually kind of odd because I've seen this happen before, but sometimes what will happen is you'll see the imbalance be the opposite side of the way you're looking to trade it. So for instance, this morning we were looking to trade this to the short side, and it was pulling off that resistance level quite nicely there into the open, but there was a big buy imbalance. And normally when a stock is selling, there's really no issue with a buy imbalance or people trying to buy, because orders should be being filled because people buy on the bid, right? So that was odd to me. And what that means is that there's people waiting there to buy. So instead of jumping in short right away, I held my hand there for a second because I expected to see those orders kind of pile in, which is what gave us that first retest. So that's why I held back for a second. In the event we have the imbalance to the side that we're looking to trade it, then I'll jump in right away, right? Because that just helps the move even that much more. But when you have an opposite imbalance to the side that you're trying to trade, you want to be careful and let it trade for at least the first, 5, 10, 15 seconds to see if that imbalance hits the market. No, John, it doesn't. You got to call. You can get a direct line to their trade desk.
Order filled.
Target's still looking good here, guys. Need to get through this 6850 level. The next roadblock here, you can see that's where we had the bounce in pre-market. So we need to get below that. Didn't get a chance to add back on that last retest, but that's okay. We got one re-add on it.
order filled. Order filled.
So just sit tight for now, guys, with the balance of that target left. See if it will ever make this final leg lower. But as of now, I don't really see anything else. So I just want to be sure that everyone understands, since we've had 2 days straight now of gap fade setups, you should have a pretty good understanding of what to look for. So I'm glad it happened this way, so you guys get some exposure to proper gap fade setups. Two really nice, picture perfect gap fade setups. So these are two good charts to study for that. Even though target didn't make that clean downward move, the point of it is that first 5-minute candle, right? That's what indicates that a gap fade is occurring. This is still a gap fade, right? It just hasn't made that big move yet, which it still very well could. The whole idea is to identify the setup, be able to execute on the market open, and get yourself in the right position to profit from it. So, make sure you go back and review KSS yesterday, TGT today, just to get a good handle on the gap fade setup, because it is something we trade quite often. Oh, that's great, Jeremy. Yeah, I know Jeremy, I believe it was Jeremy who has the YouTube channel with the recorded trades. So that's definitely very helpful. So we appreciate that, Jeremy. If you post a link to that again, I'm sure that would be helpful too.
Order filled.